My wife refused to pay for my life-saving surgery and told the doctor, I won't waste money on a broken husband. I lay there in silence. 3 days later, she came back for her watch and froze in the doorway. I heard every word through the hospital room door. $200,000? Elise's voice cut through the hallway like glass, sharp, clinical. That's completely unreasonable. I couldn't see her face, but I could picture it perfectly. The way her mouth would tighten at the corners when she was calculating something. Always calculating. Mrs. Holloway, I need you to understand the severity. That was Dr. Hartwell. I recognized his careful, measured tone. He'd been the one to explain my MRI results 3 hours ago. Spinal compression, bone fragments pressing against nerve clusters. The technical terms had blurred together, but the conclusion was crystal clear. Surgery within 24 hours, or I'd never walk again. I understand perfectly, Elise said. What I don't understand is why you're asking me to make this decision right now. My husband had a car accident. These things take time to process. The heart monitor beside my bed started beeping faster. I tried to slow my breathing, tried to stay calm, but my legs, I couldn't feel my legs, couldn't wiggle my toes, couldn't feel the weight of the blanket across my shins, just nothing. Empty space where my body should have been. Time is exactly what we don't have. Dr. Hartwell's voice hardened. The swelling is compressing his spinal cord. Every hour we wait increases the chance of permanent paralysis. I'm not being dramatic. I'm being precise. There was a pause. I heard the rustle of papers. And if the surgery doesn't work? Elise asked. If I spend $250,000 and he's still damaged? Damaged. The word hung in the air. Then I've poured a down payment on a waterfront property into a husband who can't walk. That's not a decision, doctor. That's a bad investment. The heart monitor screamed. I couldn't breathe, couldn't process what I was hearing. This is your husband's life. It's my decision. Elise's heels clicked on the linoleum. Prada. I'd bought them for her last month. Anniversary gift. Get him stabilized, pain medication, whatever you need to keep him comfortable. But I'm not authorizing surgery until I've had time to review our financial situation and speak with our attorney. Mrs. Holloway, don't call me unless he's actually dying. I'll be at the Sandpiper Resort if you need to reach me. I need to think. The footsteps walked away. I'd been staring at the ceiling tiles for 6 years. Not literally, but that's what it felt like now. Lying in that hospital bed, counting the perforated squares above me while I tried to understand how I'd gotten here. Elise and I met at her father's real estate development company, Holloway Properties. I was 28, fresh off a failed startup, hungry to prove myself. She was 32, the CFO, brilliant with numbers and ice cold in negotiations. I'd been hired as a junior project manager, basically the guy who handled contractor disputes and zoning permit headaches. Within 6 months, I'd restructured their entire acquisition process, found 3 properties they'd written off as unbuildable, and turned them into their most profitable developments. By year 2, I was VP of operations. By year 3, Elise's father, Graham, told me I was the son he'd never had. By year 4, I'd married his daughter. Looking back, I should have seen it. The way she'd introduced me at charity galas. This is Ethan. He works for my family. Never my husband. Never his name first. The way she'd scroll through her phone during dinner, responding to texts while I talked about my day. The way she'd started sleeping in the guest room after her father died 2 years ago, claiming my snoring kept her awake. But I'd told myself it was grief, stress, the pressure of running Holloway Properties without Graham's guidance. I'd told myself a lot of things. The accident happened on a Tuesday. I was driving back from a site inspection in Portland, a mixed-use development we were breaking ground on in 3 weeks. The contractor had questions about the foundation specs. It was raining, that thick Oregon rain that turns highways into rivers, and I was doing 70 on I-5 when a semi lost control in the northbound lane. I remember the sound first, metal screaming, then the impact, my Ford F-150 spinning, rolling, the world turning sideways and upside down, my head cracked against something, the windshield maybe, or the door frame, then nothing. I woke up in the ambulance. Sir, can you tell me your name? A paramedic was shining a light in my eyes. Young, maybe 25. Her badge said, Rivera. Ethan, I managed. My mouth tasted like copper. Ethan Holloway. Good. Do you know what happened? Accident. The semi, you were hit by a pickup truck. The driver ran a red light at the interchange. You rolled 3 times. She was checking my pupils. Can you feel your legs? I tried to move them. Felt nothing. I can't. Panic hit me like a second collision. I can't feel anything. Why can't I? Stay calm. We're taking you to Providence Regional. They have a trauma center. You're going to be okay. But her eyes said something different. Providence Regional Medical Center was a level 2 trauma facility with one of the best neurosurgery departments in the Pacific Northwest. I learned that from the intake nurse who processed me while I was still strapped to the backboard, unable to feel anything below my ribcage. Is my wife here? I kept asking. Did someone call Elise? We have a call out to your emergency contact, the nurse said. She'll be here soon, but she wasn't. They took me for x-rays first, then then a CT scan, then an MRI that took 45 minutes while I lay perfectly still in a tube, listening to the machine hammer and whir, trying not to think about the fact that I couldn't feel the table beneath me. Dr. Hartwell came in around 10 p.m. He was mid-50s, graying at the temples, with the kind of steady hands you'd want holding a scalpel near your spine. He'd been a neurosurgeon for 23 years, according to the certificates on the wall. Johns Hopkins Medical School, residency at Mass General, publications in the Journal of Spinal Cord Medicine. He pulled up my scans on the monitor beside my bed. "Mr. Holloway, I'm not going to sugarcoat this." He pointed to a section of my spine on the screen. "You have a compression fracture at L1, L2. The vertebrae collapsed on impact. Bone fragments are pressing directly on your spinal cord. You're experiencing complete motor loss below the waist. Can you fix it?" "Yes, but we need to operate immediately. Every hour we wait, the swelling increases. The pressure on your cord increases. Right now, you have maybe a 70% chance of regaining full mobility if we operate in the next 12 hours. Tomorrow morning, that drops to 40%. Day after tomorrow, maybe 20%. My throat went dry. What do I need to do? I need consent from you and your wife. The surgery costs approximately $200,000. Your insurance will cover about 60%, but there's still a substantial out-of-pocket portion. Someone needs to sign the financial responsibility forms. My wife has access to our accounts. She's not here yet. We've called her 3 times. That's when the first cold thread of doubt started winding through my chest. Elise was always reachable, always had her phone, always responded within minutes, unless she didn't want to respond. "Keep calling," I said. "She'll come." But the doubt grew heavier with every passing hour. Elise finally arrived at 11:30 p.m. She walked into my room, wearing her Burberry trench coat and carrying her leather tote, the one she took to board meetings. Her blonde hair was pulled back in a neat bun. Her makeup was perfect. She looked like she'd just stepped out of a conference room, not like a wife rushing to her husband's bedside after a near-fatal accident. "Ethan," she set her bag down. Didn't hug me, didn't touch me, just stood at the foot of the bed, studying me like I was a spreadsheet with problematic numbers. "They said you can't walk. The surgery can fix it." Dr. Hartwell said, $200,000. "Elise, I can't feel my legs. I know what you need." She pulled out her phone, typed something. "I'm reviewing our financial position. The company's in the middle of 3 major developments. Our liquid assets are tied up. This isn't a good time. There's no good time for a spinal injury. Don't be dramatic." She finally looked at me. Her eyes were flat, distant. "I need to speak with the doctor, get the full picture. Then I'll decide." Decide? But she was already walking out. That's when I heard the conversation in the hallway. When I heard her call me a bad investment. When I heard her prioritize a waterfront property over my spine. When I heard her walk away. Dr. Hartwell appeared in my doorway maybe 10 minutes after Elise left. His face was red, not from exertion, from anger. "I'm sorry," he said. "She signed the refusal of treatment form. She's declining the surgery." The words didn't make sense. I stared at him. "She can't do that. I consented. I signed." "She has medical power of attorney. It's in your marriage documents." She showed me the paperwork. He ran a hand through his hair. I tried to explain the consequences, the permanent paralysis, the "call her back. Let me talk to her. She doesn't understand." "Mr. Holloway." Dr. Hartwell's voice was gentle now, sad. "I've been doing this for 2 decades. I know when someone understands. She understands perfectly." The room started spinning. Elise had power of attorney because we'd updated our wills after her father died, in case something happened to me at a job site, in case I was unconscious. It was supposed to be a safety measure, not a weapon. "So that's it?" My voice cracked. "I just lie here and become paralyzed? We'll manage your pain. Keep you comfortable. There are facilities that specialize in..." However, we both turned. A man was standing in the doorway, mid-40s, wearing jeans and a flannel shirt. He had a bandage on his forehead and his left arm in a sling. "I'm sorry to interrupt," he said. "I'm Ryan Crawford. I was the other driver in the accident." Dr. Hartwell straightened. "Mr. Crawford, you shouldn't be..." "I know, but I heard the nurses talking about the cost issue, about the wife refusing treatment." He walked into the room, looked at me directly. "I'm the reason you're here. My truck blew a tire. I lost control. I crossed into your lane. This is my fault. The police said it was an accident." I said. "You're not." "I'm covering the surgery, the full cost. Whatever insurance doesn't pay, I pay." I stared at him. "That's over $100,000. "I know." He pulled an envelope from his pocket, handed it to Dr. Hartwell. "That's a letter from my bank confirming the funds. My insurance is processing the claim, but I want the surgery to happen now, tonight. I'm not letting this kid's life get destroyed because his wife's a sociopath." Dr. Hartwell opened the envelope, read the letter. His expression shifted, relief mixed with disbelief. "Mr. Crawford, this is extraordinarily generous. It's the right thing." Ryan looked back at me. "One condition. You never tell your wife it was me. As far as she knows, insurance covered it. Anonymous donor, whatever. I don't want her coming after after me for money later. Why? I asked. Why would you do this? His jaw tightened. Because I was in a situation once where nobody helped me, where the people who were supposed to care just didn't. I'm not letting that happen to someone else. He nodded to Dr. Hartwell. Do the surgery. Send me the bills. Then he walked out. I never saw him again. The surgery was scheduled for 2 a.m. They wheeled me into pre-op around 1:15. The anesthesiologist was a woman named Dr. Patel, 15 years of experience, she told me, while she prepped my IV. She had calm hands and a quieter voice. She explained the risks, the intubation, the possibility I might not wake up. I need to wake up, I said. You will, she promised. The last thing I remember was Dr. Hartwell standing over me in his surgical scrubs, his eyes visible above his mask. We're going to fix this, he said, then nothing. The surgery took 9 hours. I know because that's what my sister Riley told me when I opened my eyes in the ICU. She was sitting beside my bed, her laptop open, wearing the same blazer she wore to court. She'd been practicing family law for 8 years, handled divorces, custody battles, prenuptial agreements. She'd warned me about Elise from the beginning. You're awake, she said. Relief flooded her face. Thank God. How do you feel? Like I got hit by a truck. My throat was raw from the breathing tube. How long? 9 hours. Dr. Hartwell said it went well. They removed the bone fragments, installed titanium rods to stabilize your spine. The swelling's going down. Can I move my legs? Not yet. Give it time. I tried anyway. Concentrated on my toes, my ankles, anything. Nothing. Panic started creeping back in. Elise, I said. Did she? She hasn't called, hasn't texted, but she's been active on Instagram. Riley turned her phone toward me, showed me Elise's story, a photo of a beach at sunset, a cocktail with an umbrella, a caption, sometimes you need to step away and find your center. Self-care isn't selfish. Blessed docs, gratitude docs, living my best life. Posted 4 hours ago, while I was in surgery. Riley, my voice was shaking. She left me. She did. Riley's expression was cold, professional, the face she wore in depositions. And she's going to regret it. But first, I need to show you something. She pulled out a plastic evidence bag. Inside was a platinum watch, Cartier, diamonds around the face. I recognized it immediately. Elise's grandmother's watch, the one she'd inherited when she was 21, worth at least $70,000. She never took it off, ever. Where did you get that? Hospital lost and found. The paramedics found it in the wreckage of your truck. She must have taken it off at the scene, maybe to wipe the rain off, maybe because she was panicking, but she left it behind. I stared at the watch, at the delicate clasp. She's been looking for this, Riley continued. I checked her social media. 2 days ago, she posted on her close friend's story asking if anyone had seen it. She's desperate. So, Riley smiled, the shark smile she used when she knew she had the winning case. When she comes back, and she will come back for this watch, we're going to be ready. The first 3 days after surgery were hell. Physical therapy started on day 2. A therapist named Marcus. No, wait, that's the wrong name from before. His name was Blake Reynolds. 10 years of experience in spinal rehabilitation. He'd worked with car accident victims, motorcycle crashes, construction site injuries. He'd seen everything. This is going to hurt, he said, which was the only honest thing anyone had told me in days. He wasn't wrong. They started with basic movements, lying flat, trying to lift my legs, trying to bend my knees. Every attempt felt like someone was running electricity through my lower body. Not the good kind of electricity, the kind that made you want to scream and vomit simultaneously. I can't, I gasped after the 4th attempt. I can't feel anything. It's not working. You're feeling pain, Blake said. That means the nerves are waking up. That's good. This doesn't feel good. Recovery never does. By day 3, I could feel pressure, faint, distant, like someone was pressing on my legs through 6 feet of water, but it was something. Can you stand? Blake asked. Stand? Supported, with the walker, just for a few seconds. They brought in a walker, helped me sit up, helped me swing my legs over the side of the bed. The room spun. My legs felt like dead weight, like they belonged to someone else. On 3, Blake said. 1, 2, I pushed up. My legs buckled immediately. Blake caught me, helped me back onto the bed. Again, he said. We tried 17 times. On the 18th, I stayed upright for 8 seconds before my knees gave out. That's progress, Blake said. It felt like failure. Riley came every day. She brought files, legal documents. She'd been busy while I was recovering. I pulled the hospital security footage, she said on day 4. The hallway conversation. They have audio. Elise saying you're a bad investment. Elise refusing treatment. All recorded. All admissible. She'll fight it. Let her. Riley opened her laptop. I also requested your financial records, credit card statements, bank transfers. Elise has been moving money. A lot of money. Holloway Properties has been paying for her business expenses, except most of these expenses are spa treatments, designer shopping, a Mediterranean cruise she took while you were doing site inspections. She showed me the receipts. Thousands of dollars. Tens of thousands. She's been embezzling, I said. Technically, it's marital assets, but yes. And when we add the medical abandonment, the refusal of life-saving treatment, the emotional distress, Riley smiled, we can void the prenup, get you full ownership of Holloway Properties, get you everything. I don't want everything. I just want her gone. Then we'll make sure she leaves with nothing. But first, I had to walk. By day 5, I could stand for 30 seconds. By day 6, I could shuffle 3 steps with the walker. By day 7, I could make it from the bed to the window. It was agony. Every step felt like my spine was being ripped apart. Sweat poured down my back. My hands shook so hard I could barely grip the walker, but I kept going, because Riley had given me a timeline. Elise texted this morning, she'd said. She's coming tomorrow. Says she's ready to discuss arrangements. She thinks she's putting you in a nursing home. She thinks you're still paralyzed. But I'm not. No. Riley's smile was vicious. You're not. Day 8. I woke up at 6 a.m., did my physical therapy routine, practiced standing without the walker. My legs held for 45 seconds before I had to grab the bed frame. Riley helped me get dressed. Real clothes, jeans, a button-down shirt. We hid the wheelchair in the bathroom, hid the walker in the closet. She's in the parking garage, Riley said, checking the location-sharing app that Elise had forgotten to disable on our shared family plan. 2 minutes out, I shuffled to the window, gripped the frame, locked my knees. My legs were shaking. My vision kept going gray at the edges, but I stayed upright. Let her in, I said. Riley opened the door. Elise walked in, holding her Gucci bag and wearing designer sunglasses. She'd clearly just come from somewhere nice. Her hair was perfect. Her nails were freshly done. She smelled like expensive perfume and betrayal. She started her rehearsed speech immediately. Ethan, I know the past week has been difficult, but we need to have a realistic conversation about your care needs and our financial. She stopped. I was standing by the window, not in bed, not in a wheelchair, not helpless, standing. Ethan, the color drained from her face. You're walking. Standing, I corrected. My voice came out cold, controlled. Surprised? It's hard to track recovery progress from the resort bar. Her eyes darted around the room. She saw Riley, saw the garbage bags on the bed filled with her clothes, her shoes, her toiletries. What is this? Your belongings. I'm donating them to Goodwill. They'll go to someone who actually has a soul. You can't. She spotted the nightstand, saw the Cartier watch sitting dead center under the lamp. Relief flooded her expression. Oh, thank God. I thought I'd lost. She reached for it. Riley slapped a manila envelope over the watch. You've been served, Riley said. Divorce petition, abandonment, refusal of life-saving medical care, emotional distress, financial impropriety. It's all documented. Elise's face went from white to red. You can't prove any of. The hospital recorded your hallway conversation with Dr. Hartwell, I said. You calling me a bad investment. You prioritizing a waterfront property over my spine. It's Exhibit A. Your refusal of treatment form is Exhibit B. The financial records showing your embezzlement are Exhibits C through K. That's not embezzlement. That's theft from marital assets, while your husband was lying paralyzed. Riley pulled out another document. And because you refused life-saving medical care without justification, the prenup is void. Washington is a community property state. I'm arguing for full asset division in Ethan's favor. You'll be lucky to walk away with your car. Elise's hands were shaking. This is insane. You can't. I'm his wife. You were his wife, I said, until you decided I was damaged goods. She lunged for the watch. I picked it up first, held it over the tile floor. This meant everything to you, I said. Your grandmother, your inheritance, worth more than your wedding ring, you told me once. Worth more than most people's houses. Ethan, please. You wore it every day for 11 years. You insured it for $90,000. You told me you'd never take it off. Tears were streaming down her face now, real ones. Maybe the first real emotion I'd seen from her in years. But you took it off that night, I continued, when I was bleeding in the truck, when the paramedics were cutting me out of the wreckage. You took off your grandmother's watch, and you left it behind. I forgot. You forgot about me, too. I opened my fingers. The watch fell. It hit the tile with a crack. The crystal face shattered. Diamonds scattered across the floor like tears. Elise screamed, dropped to her knees, started scrambling for the pieces. I looked down at her, at this woman I'd built a company for, this woman I'd married, this woman who'd abandoned me the moment I needed her. Security's waiting in the hallway, Riley said. They'll escort you out. You have 72 hours to clear your personal items from the house. Anything left behind will be donated. Your access to all financial accounts has been frozen pending the divorce proceedings. Elise looked up at me. Her hands were full of watch fragments. Her makeup was running. You'll regret this, she said. No, I said. I already did. Security arrived. 2 officers. They helped Elise to her feet, led her out of the room. She looked back once. I didn't. 3 months later. I'm walking without assistance now. No walker, no cane. Just my legs, fully functional, carrying me through the new Holloway Properties headquarters downtown. Because it is Holloway Properties, just not Elise's anymore. The divorce finalized last month. Riley argued medical abandonment, financial impropriety, and emotional distress. The judge listened to the hospital recording, reviewed the financial statements, looked at Elise's social media posts from the Sandpiper Resort, short. He voided the prenup. I got the company, the house, the investment portfolio. Elise got her car and whatever personal items she could fit in it. She's living with her mother now, working at a mid-level real estate firm in Seattle. I heard she had to sell her designer wardrobe to cover her legal fees. I don't feel sorry for her. Ryan Crawford came to the office last week. I'd tracked him down through the hospital billing department, invited him to see what his generosity had made possible. You saved my life, I told him. You rebuilt it, he said. That's harder. He's right. Blake, my physical therapist, says I'm in the top 5% of spinal injury recoveries he's ever seen. Dr. Hartwell